Hi everyone, Ann Butler here with Bellicrest Publishing. I am just going to check on my phone to make sure that this is live. And if anybody comes in, if you could put a comment, that would be wonderful. There we go. Okay, once again, my name is Ann Butler and I am with Bellicrest Publishing. My creative girlfriend Lisa Rojas and I publish a free craft magazine 4 times a year. And if you would like to get that, all you need to do is, I'll put our website in here, or you can go to our Facebook page and click on Learn More, and you can sign up, and the free issue will be delivered right to your inbox. The spring issue will be out in March, so right now the winter issue is still available. So if you sign up, that winter issue will come right to you. And let me see, we have a group, Do You Love to Craft? We would love for you to join it. I'm going to see right here if I can grab that and put it into the comments so that it's easy for you to find. And there you go. So we have a Facebook group, Do You Love to Craft? And we would love to have you share your projects that you're creating, maybe projects that we inspire you to create, or, whatever you're crafting this week. So we love to see what everybody is doing. Today I am sharing, I have some new ArtFoamies, and they are nice big sized hexagon stamps. They are fabulous. I mean, they are big and easy to hold on to. Let me see if you can see that. Easy to hold on to, and they make beautiful backgrounds. And today I'm going to show you how to create fabric with the stamps. And I mean, you can use it for card making, mixed media, but today I'm going to show you how to take just a plain piece of muslin and create a beautiful background that you're able to quilt and do something with. So I'm also going to put here in the comments, if you like, share, and comment with the hashtag Bella Crafts, you're entered in for the giveaway this week. And you have to have the hashtag Bella Crafts because the program we use, it looks for that hashtag for the week, because you can do it if you've if you're watching the replay, even, because we don't choose the winner until very late on Tuesday night. So you have a whole week in which to do that. And we are sponsoring the giveaway this week. And we are giving away a free ebook from our collection of ebooks. So you get to choose the one you want. So that's what we're giving away. And again, what I'm showing you today is ArtFoamies. I have some new stamps with them. And I have both hexagons and some more rails. So I'll open these up and I'll show them to you. I'm just making sure. I want to see if anybody else puts comment in here so that I can make sure. Let me look on my phone. Well, I see people in here. So, okay. I am going to turn my camera down and show you how to do this great fabric. I mean, if you like to quilt or do mixed media, this is a great option. But again, like I said, you can do this on paper too. Today I'm using Pigment inks because Pigment inks, once you heat set them, they are washable. So I'm going to switch my camera down and see if you guys see that. There you go. Okay. So if you have any questions while I'm going along, just feel free to put them into the comments and ask, and I will try to answer them. I will try to catch them. So these are the stamps I'm using. They're ArtFoamies. You can go to their website. I'll put a link in later to find these stamps. And it's nice because they are big and chunky. These are about 2.5 inches. So you can create a background very quickly using these. Hi, Sharon. They do look like quilt pieces because when I created them, it didn't matter to me. Like it was like cutting a piece of fabric. Some of the dots aren't a complete dot. I mean, it's not all encased in this square, so or hexagon. So it's like cutting a piece of fabric. You can see it really well on the chevrons. I mean, some of them are partial chevrons. So that was the intent, to make it look like quilted pieces when you are stamping them out. And these are nice and big. I have 12 different patterns of the hexagons. Oh, fleur-de-lis. Yes. Thank you. And I also have some rails that are 1 inch by 4 inch. So there's 8 of these. There's 2 separate packages of these. And these 2 fit right next to each other to create a seamless quilt background. This is the one that I created earlier. And isn't that beautiful? I'm breaking in and out. I'm sorry. It might be your connection. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do. It's quick, it's easy, and you can create your own fabric to create whatever you want. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this after I'm done showing you how. No breaking up. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, so here is just a craft sheet that I'm working on. And here is just a piece of muslin. Now, the muslin, I get it at like Joann's, and I usually, when it's on sale, I'll buy it by the bolt. So I just have it. And because I do a lot of creating with it. So this is about 22 by 22. That way, if I want to use it for a quilt block, it'll be big enough. If I want to use it for a pillow, I never really know when I start stamping what I'm going to do. So with the ArtFoamies, you can use a stamp buddy. A stamp buddy is a piece of foam on a corrugated piece. So you can put your ink on here like a stamp pad. Yes, I'll tell you what I'll do with the fabric, Sharon. So this is like a stamp pad. And the piece that I showed you earlier is something I created. Some of you may know I was sick for a while. So I actually created that, I think, in October. Hi, Rebecca. And this is the stamp buddy I used. Now, I haven't opened it yet. I kept it in a sealed bag. So we're going to see if this ink is still good. Because usually okay, so October, it's been 3 months that it's been in here. So let's see if it's still usable. It might be all dried out, which would be fine because I could go in and wash this and it would be fine. Nope, it's still good. How about that? I have a funny story to tell you. So I always have baby wipes in my craft room, always. I buy them by the 3-pack. Sometimes I'll buy them by the case if I'm working on a lot of stuff. Well, I went to the store and I bought baby wipes and I forgot them. So I forgot them. I paid for them, but they must have been in a separate bag and they never got in my cart. So I took some paper towels and wet them and put them into a baggie because I knew today I would need some baby wipes because I would be getting all messy. So that's why I'm using what doesn't appear, they kind of appear like they're baby wipes, but it's actually paper towel. But, you know, you work with what you have, right? Did you use your, I did not use my watercolor inks, although you could use those. And maybe I will grab some and if I have some water here, not sure if I have any water. For this, I actually used Pigment re-inkers. So if you have ink that's a pigment, I would test it, but most pigment inks are washable once you heat set them. So I know the Crafters brand is washable, and I'm going to just try, I'm just going to see how much ink is actually in here. I'm going to show you how I did it too, but I'm just curious because this has been in here for, like I said, 3 months. So you just ink it up. You have your stamp buddy right there, and you just press down. Now, you have two options. You can leave that in place, take a second hexagon, ink that up really good so you can see all those beautiful colors on there. I mean, it's just so much fun. And you can lay it right next to it and lift this one up. You don't have to do that because these lines are nice and sharp. You can do it without having to butt them up right next to each other. But I like having that right there so I know it's exact. So this is all you need to do. And isn't that beautiful? All the colors. So for this one, I would line it up right at the top edge, and then I know I'm good. But since this ink has been in here a while, it's not coming out as dark as I might want. So I'm going to show you on this stamp buddy. I'm going to go ahead and put this one back into my Ziploc bag, and I'll use those same colors and refresh that. But for here, I'm going to use kind of the same colors because it's on this piece. But all you do is you take your stamp buddy and you put some of that re-inker down. And it looks like a lot of ink, but it seeps in there, and like you can see, it lasts for a very, very long time. So you can use re-inkers, but you can also use, if you have fabric paint, you can put fabric paint on here. So that would work really well too. Somebody asked about my watercolors. I think this re-inker is almost empty. Somebody asked about my watercolors, and you can use the watercolors if you would paint it right onto the hexagon. I wouldn't put it on here because watercolors, I mean, while you can take and easily spray them with water to refreshen them, I'm not sure if I how much you would have to put on the Stamp Buddy to get it to work. So I'm just going to take a few colors here, and I'm going to use that nozzle to bring them up next to each other. It'll seep in here and it will fill in, but I'm just using that nozzle to bring them right up next to each other. I love the different colors on one stamp too. I mean, it just makes it fun. And like I said, if you have fabric paint, you can do this with fabric paint too. And that's only if you're working on fabric. If you're working on paper, you can use whatever you want on paper. And that'll work also. Because on paper, you can just use the stamps directly. Let me see, what other color do I want? I think I'm going to go with a lighter purple down here. I grabbed these and wasn't sure which way I was going to go. But you want to use this nozzle to blend it right up next to it. And you can use just a baby wipe or a paper towel to clean this off if you're using different colors. So you don't have to feel like you have to use only one stamp pad that you make. Okay. So I'm going to use this one. This is like the grandmother's flower garden. And I'm just going to stamp this in here. And because this is fresh, this impression should be just a bit darker. Now, if you're afraid to line this up, you can always take one of these and put directly over where it was and line it up that way. But I think my head's going to get in the way for me to see this. I can't quite see the top there. See how much brighter that is? So this has been in here for 3 months. You would just want to refreshen it up with some ink. And if you're done with these colors, you can take and put this underneath the water in a sink and clean all that color out, so you can always reuse this. And they last for a really long time. So this is how easy isn't that fun? You get all of those colors and you just stamp it out. I just love that. So I'm going to put these up just a little bit out of the way, and I want to show you some of the rails. Now, we'll go, I have another piece of fabric here. I have another piece of fabric that is not, I didn't iron it yet, but I have to heat set them anyhow. So when I heat set the inks, that'll iron them. Hi, Amy. Yes, this is a fun set. I mean, I just love patterns of fabric. So that's why my stamps are created with fabric in mind. I'm going to make this one just a little bit longer by adding another color. And as you can see, this is spattering out. So I got to really bring that ink down to the bottom. Let me see if I can get, I know there's some ink in there. But yeah, it is fun to be able to use this Stamp Buddy and have all those colors together. Now, you don't have to do this in, there isn't a lot in here. You don't have to do this in stripes. You could do squares, you could do polka dots, you could just randomly spatter the colors and have something interesting that way too. I'm going to add another purple because that's what I have right here. Just to make it big enough. It's just a darker purple, so I have the 3 shades. So you can do these in any pattern you want. Amy, you want my nail polish? It's actually Color Street, so it's stickers. Easy to do. Okay, so isn't that pretty? So again, you just stamp it down. Like that. And it's easy to create these patterns. And you just line them up next to each other. I'm being kind of quiet, trying to line that up. Camera's in the way. So isn't that fun? I got it down a little bit farther. Should have been up a little bit, but with the camera right there by my head, it's hard. So you see how easy that is? Now you save this, and you can see that it wasn't quite long enough for the stamp. So I stamped and then I came up a little bit. If you wanted that to be just that solid pink, add more on there. Hi, Jimmy. So yeah, it's quick, it's easy to do, and you know, there's all these beautiful patterns that are in these sets. They're all just so pretty. It's hard to choose which ones, but it's easy to do. Now I'm going to show you the one I finished. Hi, Dorothy. So here's the one that I stamped the entire thing. And what I did was I quilted it. So I layered it with a plain piece of muslin and a toasty cotton batting. Let me see. There, a toasty cotton batting. So when you're quilting, you can go do whatever you want. You can do just lines. What I chose to do, let me see if you can see that. See that quilting? So I started and I quilted on the edge of all the hexagons and then in the center, and I did that both ways. So you can't see it as well here, but see, I went along the edge between these 2 stamps, and then I went down the middle of the next one, and then I would be between these 2 stamps again. And I did that going in one direction, and then I did it going in the other direction. But this is actually going to be a pillow. Now I didn't have a pillow form the right size, so I made a pillow form just out of muslin. You can see I made it. I filled it and I stitched it. So this is the right size. And I'll use just plain, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use plain muslin on the back or if I'm going to quilt another pattern for the back. But won't that be a fun pillow? I think you'll be able to see it better once I switch cameras. And okay, so won't that be a fun pillow? Let me see. Can't see your comments. Okay, so that will be a fun pillow, and it's in the colors that I love. So when you're doing this and you choose your pigment inks or your fabric paints, pick out all the colors that you love to create this, because these are one of a kind, because you have the stamps and you're making this fabric. So it is one of a kind, and you just want to do the things that make you happy, you know. Rebecca, you love making pillows. I know. I love making pillows. I like making tags, bookmarks, lots of things that are just quick and easy. And to me, if you can stamp out your fabric, because you can stamp this out in an hour. I mean, if you have all your stamps and you have your stamp buddy ready, you can stamp that out in an hour. And then you just have to iron it to heat set it. And then you can quilt it. So you can make this in an afternoon. I think it took me to quilt this little piece because I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do. Because like I said, I went diagonal one way and then diagonal another. And then I did choose to go straight down in between this way too. So it took me about an hour to quilt this. And so you figure it would take a half an afternoon to make a pillow. If you're making the pillow form, I mean, if you made it in the size of a pillow form and you didn't have to make the pillow, it wouldn't take as long either. But this is a fun way to make something very personalized for someone too. You do it in the colors they love. And the cool thing is, this is all quilted, but you created it. You created that fabric. So again, I have the hexagons with ArtFoamies and the rails, and they are just so much fun. How many designs did you have? On this one, I used all 12 patterns. So this, I have 12 hexagons, and I used all of them in this. And I tried to keep the same ones apart. You know, I tried not to put, like right here is the grandmother's flower or the wedding ring, and then over here. So I tried to keep them a ways apart. So you just have to, do you wash the fabric first? Amy, I pre-wash all my fabric all the time. Nowadays they say you don't have to, I've read, and some people just use it right from the bolt. I always pre-wash. I went to design school right out of high school, and even in high school, I mean, I've been sewing since my mom taught me to sew when I was just little, and I've always pre-washed because you never know what's going to shrink. So I do. You can read a lot of places, and some people do not pre-wash. Where are these bigger hexagon stamps sold? On the ArtFoamies website for sure. They are in some stores, but I will put a link in here after the live, Dorothy, and she has them on the ArtFoamies website. She sells directly, and I'm not sure what stores are in yet. Sharon, you always pre-wash. Yeah, because you never know. Some things shrink a lot. Some things don't shrink at all. I mean, especially if there's polyester in it. But when it's 100% cotton, there's going to be some shrink. I know some of you know this. I make pajamas for all of my grandkids every Christmas, and I pre-shrink all that fabric. You know, I would hate for them to get their pajamas and then have them shrink 2 inches in length. Yes, it is wise. So I want to announce the winner from last week. Last week we had an interview with my creative girlfriend, Rebecca Meyer, and Rebecca has done one ebook with us. We're working on another one. But paper art collage, I have it in a print copy, but we're giving away the ebook. And the winner from last week, now remember to win for next week, like, share, and comment, and hashtag Bella Crafts. So the winner of this, I didn't see her in here, is Katie Amando. So Katie, I will announce you here and tag you so you can email me. You can email Bella at bellacraftspublishing.com and we'll get that ebook right out to you. How many loads of wash is that with all your grandkids? Oh my goodness. I kept the yardage together, you know, and I think I got it 8 yards at a time. Because I ordered it and it came in bolts of 8 yards. So I did 4 loads. So I had 32 yards of fabric to make the pajamas for my grandkids. And I'm expecting 2 more grandbabies this year, one in April and one in July. So I'll go from 14 to 16 grandchildren. So they keep us busy. So yes, so like Amy put in hashtag Bella Crafts, just do that when you're tagging us and when you're sharing so that you can be entered for next week's giveaway. And hopefully Lisa will be back next week. We're seeing, you know, I don't want her to push herself or do too much. I know I was out all of November and December. So Lisa, when she is feeling better, she thinks next week she might be able to come back. And I know that last week I had said that we were going to do the Crafters Workshop stencils this week, but Lisa wants to do that one too. That's why I chose to do something totally different. So next week, if Lisa is back, we will do the Crafters Workshop. Otherwise, I'll be back at 2 o'clock and I will come up with something for you guys. We'll let you know. Congratulations. Thank you, Dorothy. And yes, Lisa is slowly getting better. I mean, it just takes some time when you're that sick. And she, you know, I haven't actually talked to her. We've only texted. I know I had totally lost my voice and couldn't talk at all, so we didn't talk for a long time when I was sick. But she is getting better slowly. So hopefully next week, if not, I will come up, you know, what you guys could do is put in the comments or message me what kind of projects you'd like to see. That would be fun. Because everything doesn't have to be card related. We like to do other things. So if you guys want to message us or add it to the comments of something you'd like to see us make or do, that would be great too. So you guys have a wonderful day and get out there and create something because it's good for your soul. Okay? We will see you next week. Thanks, everyone.